Hey, how you doing?
I'm phenomenal. How are you? Thank you so much for this opportunity.
I'll be sitting here. You here? Okay.
How many chairs will we need?
A whole lot. Cause she's only gonna be here for about 5 minutes. She's just gonna.
What's up, darling? I thought you would be here with the.
No.
I think the different stuff. You
That's
still.
okay. I'll send it to you again. It's a house tour that's going on. It's
Do you have my Hotmail account?
No. I sent it to the one you sent it to me. Harvestradio.
Okay. 15
So
minutes.
give it to me before.
Quarter
All
after.
right.
Before I go.
I don't understand why you're not here when the pastors are here on a Friday to do your announcement. Cause you got.
Left shoot the glass.
I mean, all that kind of stuff.
No, you running?
No. Target. I shoot the glass when you shoot the glass. I shoot the glass.
You can shoot with her.
Come
with-
here and do it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I'm Alicia. How are you? How are you?
Rev, why don't you hand me that chair? I'll bring in a couple more.
So do we expect all 7?
Yeah.
All 7? We should have, we took that 4th
I'm phenomenal.
All right.
we can't pull that microphone in there.
We just passed the mic. That's all.
Just make sure you take it
Yeah,
out
take it out of the-
and
out of the holster.
pass it. It's possible I could pull one in here though.
One more mic.
Try.
Make sure everybody's mic's on. We don't want campaign sabotage accusations floating around here.
You're actually starting to look like a photographer.
Yeah, one bad news.
That is bad.
Yeah.
If you sit by me, don't get yelled at there. That's his seat. So you gotta move
Oh.
over. No.
Yeah, that don't happen.
Huh?
Independent.
You might want to get that better
I'm on
chair.
publication.
Okay. I'm Alicia.
I'm Brian.
Brian. What's your publication?
In the Spotlight magazine.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Just covering the local
Alicia.
stuff right now.
Nice to meet you. I'm just a voter. I didn't vote. I didn't vote.
She's gonna do it now.
I'm just doing an announcement.
Then
Which
she-
I think it was like last week.
Hey, Jim.
Sit here.
Today?
And then when she's gonna
I'll
do
move over there. You know what? I'll move over there.
You might want to get the better chair though, Carol. This chair is kind of low.
That's okay.
You sure?
You can have my chair.
Have this chair.
You said, okay.
And then
Okay.
when she's gonna get up in about 4
Oh,
or 5
okay.
minutes, and she's going, then he
Okay.
can.
Okay.
I don't
I'm
know
just
where.
doing an announcement, or you're gonna ask me questions. I just get to say that.
You basically gonna do an announcement, and I may say something, but let me see. You got another flyer? Flyer?
I do, but I don't want to work with it. Now I only bought the one. That's okay. We can share. I always forget that when you come here, you have to bring like 17 copies. So I have a ticket with your name on it.
Put my name on it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes.
Now when is it?
It's on Sunday,
Sunday at 3 o'clock.
2 to 5. The reception is from 3 to 6. The reception is going to be awesome. At the Pillars in Plainfield.
I'm an artist.
And everybody that's anybody will be in attendance.
Wow. Okay.
Anybody. So I must
Sounds like I better go.
Yes.
All
If you are
kinds.
not there, you have lost your
name?
identity.
Thank you.
That's the original one or the
Did
new
you
one?
get the DVD?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Put down Marcus.
And now I'll sing for my first song.
Don't sing. I don't want to cry today, Bob.
Okay, is this that tour that go around showing the properties in Plainfield? Or is
No,
this a
actually
historic?
that was a
What's happening?
Hello.
I'm leaving.
I can sit over next to Bob. I'm not prime time anymore. Folks who weren't here last week.
I'm glad
Need to have
glad
their
you're
say.
sitting here.
You don't want to sit by Bob, he gets yelled at.
Yeah,
No.
I like a button. You know what? Name tag, a button, something, t-shirt.
All right, now we're gonna have some comedy. My man Turner's coming.
Oh, is he? Oh, look, the tell us how bad we are? And we're all liars?
Well, I know he's referring to you, Bob, when he says that.
Of course.
Get a little
Spicy. Hey, how you
It's all part of the journey. It's
Bigger table.
With chairs.
make the Republican stand.
No, we can't do
No,
that.
no.
We better not do that right there. No. We better not say it.
We had enough standing last night.
What? You were sitting in the front row.
Talking about your colleagues.
You didn't get yelled at last night, did you? You were sitting too far away.
So,
Yelled at? In what way?
Participate this evening.
In the final comment.
Okay, all you guys, she's just gonna make sure.
I heard one comment that would include me in there.
Oh,
But you don't worry about that because I don't have baggage for people to deal with. So, you say what you want.
Is that fan in here or what? Y'all need a fan. The air and everything.
I'm telling you.
I think that's a problem.
Gonna get hot.
I offered to go over there.
We gotta alternate.
Yeah, I offered to go over there.
I'm not saying.
Reverend Jeremiah, one suggestion.
Zachariah.
Jack, I'm sorry.
Everybody say Jeremiah.
I don't know why I
Jeremiah.
say that.
We can go for
Could you make the wide one that I noticed when I watched a video that everybody's heads were in the shot. So some people,
Right.
You were not in it at all. My hand was there. And so.
Right. You know what? And, you know, as you see, the room is only so big.
Yeah.
So
Hey, it's all right.
2 more chairs?
I'm comfortable on the floors or where else?
okay, you guys put your mic out.
WKNB Sterling Plainfield, a service of Harvestradio.
It's time now for the Town Talker with Reverend Zechariah A. Jackson. Reverend Jackson is founding pastor of the Church of What's Happening Now, located in Plainfield, New Jersey. And now, the Town Talker, Reverend Zechariah Jackson.
Well, I tell you, it's good coming to you. You know, the weather's well, should be warm, but it last night I felt a little cold, and you know, it looked like it's going to be a little rain. It looked like the rain is coming. It won't come or whatever. So we're up and down here. But last night I was at a very special forum last night at Plainfield Public Library with all the candidates that's running for mayor. And I tell you, I have to say, I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Everybody handled themselves very, very professional. It was an outstanding thing. I you know what, the people that Twittered me and Facebook me last night, you know, I'm at work in early wee hours in the morning. So sometimes if you get a Facebook from me at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, I'm thinking I'm outside your house, you know, I'm working, you know, I get a little lunch break. And they just said, you know, they only hope that this group here that's running, that I know everybody has great aspirations to get into office. Everybody want to be mayor, and why wouldn't you? Because you're taking your time to run. But they're saying this right here. Here's what they twittering me. They're saying, you know, we want something different. That if you guys don't get in office, will you still work for the betterment of Plainfield? And that's what they want to know. They're interested in each and every one of you, the people of Plainfield. But they also want to know, will you abandon them? Because you all come with good ideas, you know. So that's what they want to know. So you guys can answer that later, but right now we're going to let a young lady introduce herself and tell her what she's introducing today.
Good afternoon. My name is Alicia Jones, and I am the CEO of Strategy Solutions, based right here in Plainfield, New Jersey. And I'm here today to talk about the Maidens in May Plainfield House Tour, which will be going on Sunday, this Sunday, May 31st, from 2 to 5 p.m. It is featuring 6 homes of historical and architectural significance in Plainfield.
Okay.
The tickets are $20 a piece. You can pick them up at the YWCA or a number of other venues in Plainfield. And it is to benefit the United Way of Greater Union County and medical transportation. So the Plainfield, I want to get this right, Plainfield Medical Transportation Fund benefits from the tour. And we know that our hospital closed.
Yes.
And we do need help with medical transportation in the city of Plainfield.
And that was the issue that the people brought up last night at the forum, of course, that the Millenberg closed down. You know, and I'm going to just touch off of something, what the young brother said last week about historical homes right down here, you know, and he talked about that Plainfield, all the other Plainfields, you know, the fields in this area, that Plainfield itself have the historical homes and things. So that's what you're showing, actually historical homes.
Yes, historical homes. So there are 6 homes that are on the tour. Some of the gardens will be open for you to walk through and tour. And we're asking for people to come out and support this wonderful event because the money is coming right back to our community.
Oh, and how much is the tour?
The tickets are $20. The day of the tour, they're $25.
Okay.
You can reach me at the YWCA to purchase tickets, or there are a number of other sites around Plainfield. The Plainfield Music Store is selling tickets, Queen City Diner, a number of places that you can pick up tickets if you're interested.
Okay. Now let me ask you this right here. How will the people be commuted around?
I believe they'll be driving from house to house in their own vehicles. It's not something that you have to start at, at 2 and end at 5. It's probably an hour and a half tour.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a reception at the beautiful Pillars of Plainfield, which is our bed and breakfast.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you. And anytime you have any other announcements, don't hesitate.
Okay, don't start, because I'll come in like every week with an
We'll come on in. We'll give you a 2-minute block.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, love to have you.
All right.
Love to have you back. Okay, who are we going to start with? I imagine Adrian Mack was not here last week. Martin Cox, your son graduated from college. Is that right?
Yes, he did, Reverend. First, thank you for the opportunity to appear on the show today. We appreciate it. Last Thursday, I was unable to make it because my middle son, Tristan Cox, graduated from Rutgers University.
Wow.
And he's become the 6th member of our family to graduate from Rutgers, 3rd generation.
Paul Robeson went to Rutgers.
Paul Robeson absolutely went to Rutgers. I don't know if he'll be as successful as Paul Robeson, but we can certainly hope that he can walk in the shadow of Paul Robeson's life.
Well, that's a good shadow to walk in, I tell you. And what was his major?
His major was history and education. He's going to stay at Rutgers. He started on Tuesday to earn his master's in education, and it is his goal to return home to Plainfield to help young men and young ladies, especially African American and Latino young men, with a positive role model in the district. So that's his long-term goal.
I often talk about that on this show here and on my sermon too, to help the young lads land. And that's a good thing, and that's I'm proud to be next to you, that you have a son graduating from, they graduated and everything. Okay, who wants to start the forum? I guess it would only be fitting to have the woman start.
I always get
Oh, you
always get to start first.
Go ahead, introduce me.
This is Carol Ann Brokaw Bowles, and I'm running for mayor for Plainfield, New Jersey, and in the primary for next week, June 2nd, line 14G. First of all, I want to thank you very much for having us back again. Greatly appreciate it.
I enjoyed having you guys here.
Well, we enjoyed being here.
Glad to bring you back. It's just that, a little cramp, but we're here.
I just want to, reference your question you asked before. You said whether or not we're committed to helping Plainfield, whether or not we get elected.
Yes.
And I think everybody has a commitment, at least at this table has a commitment for helping Plainfield. All of us, I believe, have our charities in Plainfield that we support.
Sure.
We have our churches in Plainfield that we support. We have our communities who belong to our block associations. And so we are continually working for the betterment of Plainfield.
Okay.
And intend to continue to do that.
All right. Okay. Go around the table, introduce yourself and say a few.
Hi, my name's Tom Turner. I'm also running for mayor here in Plainfield. And, as Carol so aptly put it, we are all probably going to stay committed into this effort, like she said, through our block associations. And since, this is the political arena that we're talking about right
Sure.
now, I'm sure that I will definitely stay committed in this. I've run for councilman in the past. When in between those interims, I've worked with civic and social groups.
Well, we've seen you.
But my commitment is that I will always be here. I mean, every year I will continue to run for mayor, as long as I feel that the person that's in the office right now or that's running, doesn't meet up to a standard that we should have in Plainfield. So I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, so Plainfield is your home.
Check.
All right. Okay, go ahead.
And I'm Adrian Mack, and I again want to thank you, Reverend, for giving us this opportunity to speak to the people of Plainfield. We are candidates that are running for elected office, and I have been involved in Plainfield's life for several years.
Sure.
At a number of different levels, as an elected official,
Sure.
as someone who has worked with different civic and community organizations, and I will continue to stay involved in Plainfield and do my absolute best to help move this city forward. But I am running to be the next mayor of the city of Plainfield.
Okay.
And I am sitting here at a table with fine men and women, and
Yes.
these are all good people who want to do good for Plainfield. But I do believe that I am the one that stands out and is best qualified to lead the city at this time, and that's why I am here.
Okay, all right. Next.
Good afternoon, and I also thank you for having us. I've been up here for the years, and as far as the commitment, sir, I've been committed to Plainfield. I've lived here for 42 years.
Yes.
And for the last 20, I've been committed. I ride the city of Plainfield every day in my big blue van.
Okay.
Everybody knows. the
We
big
got to
blue
get a
van.
picture of that big blue van. What model van is that?
It was a 1995 Chevy high top.
Wow.
I now have a new one. I have a light blue Kia.
Oh, okay.
But I patrol the streets, all wards. I was the second ward councilman for 8 years. But I patrolled every ward because my feeling is, as a member of the council, there were 7 of us.
Sure.
When we voted, we never voted for Adrian's ward or my ward. We voted for the entire city.
Sure.
And so I had to know what it was about, why people down in the 4th ward or the 1st ward, what their problems were, as well as what was problems in my ward. I used to stop and talk to people on this, on this porch. I'd stop and get out and talk to them. They tell me about potholes. One person on West 4th Street, I remember, said they had been promised 6 weeks ago that the pothole in front was going to be filled, and because they had grandchildren, they were really concerned if a car hit the pothole and went out of control, their
Sure.
children, grandchildren could be hurt. So I told them it'll be fixed tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and it was fixed the following morning.
All right. Okay.
And I have a habit of getting things done.
Okay.
I'm a member of the NAACP.
Sure.
I'm a member of the American Legion in Plainfield.
Okay.
I'm a vice commander there, and as is Tom. I believe I have 5 children of my own. I raised 21 foster children.
Sure.
Right here in Plainfield. And
So a regular journeyman right here. In Plainfield.
I'm really proud of their accomplishments.
Sure.
And they have all moved on to great jobs and have their own families and stuff. And it was because of my wife and I believe that this is what took place. I don't know what else you would like me to say at this moment.
All right. We'll come back to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jim Pivnichny, and I want to thank Reverend Jackson and Harvestradio for inviting me back, along with Carol Ann and Tom. The 3 of us were here last week, and
Sure.
we had a chance to have our say, so I'm gonna sit back a bit and listen to what the 3 new individuals here, Adrian, Bob, and Martin have to say. I'm sure you're all interested in that. One thing I'd like to answer your question about commitment.
Sure.
After the election's over, and the word that sprang into my mind right away was absolutely. I'm in this for the long haul.
Okay.
I'm new to politics, I'll tell you that,
All right.
but I'm having a ball so
Okay.
far. And I'd like to do whatever I can to help Plainfield along.
All right.
And so you'll be hearing more from me.
Okay.
And that's about what I have to say for now.
All
So
right.
Martin?
Martin?
Thank you, Jim. Pastor, again, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to appear on Harvest Radio today. It's interesting that we're sitting less than 2 blocks from a location where my grandfather, Fitzmerton Cox Sr., was one of the founding families of St. Mark's Episcopal Church, which grew as a mission out of Grace Episcopal Church. It's interesting that one of the documents I have with me today, because my life philosophy is to whom much is given, much is required,
Sure.
is a document that I show, and I've shown that I've personally donated, my wife and I, to over 30 houses of worship in the city of Plainfield this year. So I come from a background with a commitment to the city of Plainfield. That commitment will not change regardless of the outcome
Okay.
on Tuesday. I have a long-term commitment to the city. As everyone knows, I've been on the Board of Ed for 8+ years. I've been in the nonprofit world. I previously worked for the Concerned Urban Clergy and Pinch, their nonprofit. So I've been around, I intend to be around, and I'm certainly great to be a proud alumnus of the Plainfield Public Schools.
Okay.
And my children are alumnus of the Plainfield Public Schools, and my grandchildren prayerfully will be alumnus of the Plainfield Public Schools. So I'm proud of each and every one of those accomplishments for myself and for my family.
Okay. The next question I want to throw out to any of you guys that want to grab it. What is it that you guys think in your mind that you can do different and to enhance Plainfield where you may think Sharon Robinson Briggs lacked?
I believe it's very important for there to be leadership in the city of Plainfield. And I believe that every candidate sitting at this table will agree that there hasn't been leadership coming out of City Hall. And I intend to bring leadership to City Hall to make sure that there is responsibility, accountability, and transparency, and that the services for which people are paying for are delivered. The present mayor has failed the citizens of this lovely city by ignoring the roads, by misleading people into thinking that she has increased the number of police officers on the force, where the opposite is true. She has actually, on her watch, the number of officers have gone down from 151 to 146. She has inflated the crime statistics by putting out misinformation about crime and murders declining by 300%, which is a statistical impossibility. And so these are the kinds of things that people look to a leader. And when held under the microscope, I believe that this mayor will come up short. And I intend to increase the number of police officers on the police department, address the issue of crime, bring economic development to the city so that we could expand the commercial tax base and relieve the burden of property taxes from on the shoulders of those living in Plainfield.
Okay, now if the mayor is listening and would like to call in, I sent the number already to your office, and to call in and comment on that right there, because there's no one here that's going to comment on it for her. Call in at 908-822-9562. Okay.
I think immediately, I would bring an expertise to the table as the only individual who's ever worked in city government by
Sure.
day. I spent 12 years working for the city of Plainfield, and I would immediately fully utilize the rich expertise and knowledge of the nearly 500 plus employees in the city. That's an important first step. I would develop a technology plan and implement that technology plan. We're in the year 2009 and most city services are not available online. That's criminal. You have to do those things manually.
Okay.
I would have an annual budget that's adopted in a timely manner. This current budget that we're in was adopted after the 26th of April, and it expires at the conclusion of June. I don't believe that that is responsive to the needs of citizens, and it's not responsive in managing an organization as large as the city is.
Okay, and let me say this right here, Martin. You know, we're going through technology revolution, if you will. We go back 4 years, the things that we're doing with computers today, we didn't do 4 years ago. I was not a twiddler 4 years ago, nor, what is it, Twitter?
Twitter, right.
Twitter. Don't take that wrong, public.
You have to learn how to pronounce it before you can see it.
Exactly. Or Facebook. You know, I heard about Facebook by accident. I was at the job and a young man, you know, was talking about this Facebook thing. So I asked him about it. I said, well, what is Facebook? And he told me, so I got on the computer and, you know, learned what Facebook is. Very good instrument. Plainfield, 4 years ago, like many towns, with the new technology that's coming, do you think that perhaps the move was it because it was a lack, or it was just because that we're evolving as a people?
Well, as a member of the Plainfield Board of Ed, we had a shared service arrangement with the city. If we had received timely payment for that shared service arrangement, I believe we'd still be in that arrangement. That arrangement was less than half of what was paid to an outside consultant.
Okay.
We have the infrastructure, we have the personnel, and I believe that we could assist the city immediately in improving the use of technology throughout city government.
Let me ask you this right here, Martin. Stay with you for a minute. This technology move that everyone is talking about, which is good today. I mean, I got rid of old cameras, you know, that you got the old film or whatever, just so easy to have that camera that you can just delete the film or save 2,000 of them, you know. Is this the talk that's in city council? You know, at the city council meetings, do they move this right here? Is they talking about these things?
There have been a few items on the agenda in regards to the technology, but it's past due time to get beyond the talking stage and to implement a program where the citizens can access all city departments.
Okay.
Access forms, access the tax database. Those things should be available at the touch of a button to all the residents of Plainfield.
Okay, in the Plainfields, the South Plainfield, the North Plainfield, are they equipped that way at this point? Not that we're bouncing off, just gonna throw that out there.
I can't speak to that, but parents can, through the Board of Ed, parents can access their children's grades.
Okay.
They can register for classes. There's a lot of things that technology gives you the ability to do and creates greater efficiency through its uses.
The reason why I keep asking you, because I know in less than a year, one of you guys are going to be mayor. And meaning that even with Sharon Robinson Briggs, she may be mayor 2010. I don't want to sit here at the town talk and put all that pressure just on the mayor, and it's not, you know, this is not just a job for the mayor. I think it's a job for the whole community. So that's why I asked you that question. So is there anything you want to say, Carol, at this moment?
Well, I think the question you asked was, what do we think we bring to the table that's different than the other candidates? And with respect to me, I own and manage my own law practice here in Plainfield.
Okay.
I specialize in elder law and disability. I was a vice president at American Broadcasting Company, where I supervised a budget of $70 million. So I know how to manage people, I know how to manage money.
Okay.
But most importantly, I think what is very important here in Plainfield is that we need to really develop true community development in terms of ratables. We don't have ratables. We have existing right now 341 homes on the market. We don't need to do any more or encourage any more development of residential real estate. That is not what we need. We need ratables, and we need to do it in a way that makes sense. I don't know if you're aware of the National League of Cities,
No.
but it's a resource that you can go to. They give you ideas and give you examples of how communities in conjunction with other communities, work together to develop a real resource, to develop real ratables in our community. We have wonderful stock along East Front, it's West Front Street, which goes into Denellen. It's been space that has not been utilized for a number of years. For those of you who lived in Plainfield as long as I have, actually, because I grew up here and went to public school here, it was the old Mack Motors buildings.
I've heard about it.
And if we could work with Dunellen, work with Greenbrook, which is things that have been done in other communities that we should be trying to do here, to really develop a business that will come here, invest in our community. We share revenues and whatever the tax abatements are with those other communities, and we make sure that we have job opportunities. We need to do things in our community that really develops jobs for people in Plainfield, in the Plainfield area, so that we can all prosper and grow. And if we have a good business plan, we go forward, we find businesses that will work with us to develop that area. We have the other communities working with us, pulling with us to do that kind of development.
Sure.
Then what happens is you get that one sort of anchor business. And from that, other businesses grow.
Okay.
People will gravitate to that area to develop their business.
All right, we're gonna go to the line now. I believe I have Mayor Briggs on the line.
He said there is a phone call.
Okay, yes, who's on the line? Yes, go ahead, Reverend Branch. How you doing?
Under the administration that you were a part of, they laid off 17 police officers. And the police, I've been asked to comment on behalf of the police officers and just let you know that they remember what you said. And they're not looking forward to working with you. Would you like to comment?
Thank you, Reverend Branch. Again, you have decided to tarnish me and to smear me. When you were last here, you accused me of not going down to Trenton on the 10 buses that went down to Trenton to rally in support of Muhlenberg. And you said that you were on one of the buses, so you knew that I wasn't there. That was your reasoning. And I pointed you to News 12, where I was captured on tape speaking at that event. Now you have been sent to do the bidding of others. What I can say to you, Reverend Branch, and to the people of Plainfield, is that back in 2004, when the city was experiencing some severe economic stress, that the council and the mayor slashed the budgets of almost all of the departments in the city. The police department was among those departments. We did everything that we could to have the police department give up a duplicate prescription plan that was costing the city $350,000 that wasn't being used by any of those officers. And instead of doing that, the union opted to have 8 of their officers laid off by the former administration. And so the number of police officers went down to 151 as a result of 8 officers. And these are facts, Mr. Branch, being laid off. But we have to move forward. And it is my plan to address the very troubling problem of crime that we have in our community. And I have laid out a vision for the city. I have laid out a plan for the police department where I will bring the complement up to 160. I've said how I will pay for that. That is by attrition, by the savings from the retirements of the highly paid senior officers that will be leaving the force this year, and by the stimulus package made available to all cities and states by the signing of that into law by our President Barack Obama. I will open my hand and reach out to every department within the city, to the leadership of the Plainfield Police Department, and though I know that you have been sent to do the bidding of others, I am speaking to the people of Plainfield to let them know that I will provide the leadership that is needed, and Plainfield will move forward under my leadership.
Well, the question going back to that, to get opportunity to answer that about, what will you bring differently than what the current mayor offers on there? There are a number of things that I would definitely bring to the table that's a little bit different. Is I've always said that I would focus on the needs of the individuals in Plainfield.
Sure.
And the biggest issues that people are talking about are taxes. I've been here since 1992, and I've never seen a city council budget yet adopted that reduced taxes. Really reduce taxes, not deferred them.
But can we really reduce taxes without industry, without big industry coming?
Absolutely, because I mentioned before that one of the things we need is a forensic audit in here. We can cap the salaries that exist for appointed persons so that they're not constantly increasing year after year. There are ways of finding monies to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And if that's what the citizens need, then we need to set priorities in terms of what we need to get done here. And when we all decide what's important, then we'll balance that between what we need and what we actually want to do in terms of reducing taxes around here. So that's a big need. The other thing is getting something for your services. So it's sort of the opposite and can work in hand with it as well. People want to see something for it. They've been saying that for years. They want to see something returned for their money that they're paying right now. It's all right that they pay taxes as high as some other communities are higher, but they want to know that they're getting back something for that. And that complaint I've heard since 1992, since I moved here. I was the first person to raise that when I got my tax bill.
Okay.
And I don't think that's really been addressed. The other thing, which is an ethical thing, is just being honest with people. They need to know that government is there and that they'll actually listen to them and react to them and do it in a positive way. I don't think that we've had city councils and some mayors that have been 100% honest and forthright with people in terms of even answering simple questions of what happened to this money? Why aren't we getting this? It's always been a deferred issue, especially at council for the many times that I've gone there. And I think that at least people are entitled to get an honest answer when they ask a simple question. Another thing that I bring, if you look at my background in terms of what I've offered, and I don't want to insult anybody, but I'm probably the only IT person sitting around this table. That means information technology. I'm the geek. So when you talk about, what is possible.
IT.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, with, some people don't. So, if you're, if you're looking to address that issue, yeah, and a lot of it doesn't even cost any money right now. Most cities have websites up that post information, but you don't have, real documents. You go into the tax office, a lot of that isn't computerized. When I got married,
So we have to update. We
we
definitely
do,
have to
and we can do that. We can give people, internships so they can do that. You can hire folks from schools to do that, so they get some experience in terms of doing it. And a lot of that can also be done, without any cost by using the resources that we have right here. But it's something that can be done. It can be done very simple, with not a lot of cost at it. It's just you just got to make up your mind and do it.
Can I just say one thing? I think it's correct that IT is important, but I think what we're missing is management. We need to have an office that is managed, and we don't have competent management right now. All due respect to Mayor Briggs. We don't have a manager.
Okay. And I wish she would call in and she could defend herself. Okay, go ahead.
To answer your question, one of the problems in Plainfield are the high taxes. And I have a plan, and it's ready to go, to reduce property taxes.
Okay.
It's not a game, it's not something, as some members here had called us liars, that we were gonna promise to do things. I have it ready to go. I'm not at liberty until after June 2nd.
To share.
To share the amount, okay, because all of a sudden everybody will be giving a discount or a reduction in taxes. We also have to take care of the youth of this city.
Yes.
I have 5 children of my own, and I had 21 foster children. And they all have grown up to be good citizens. The thing is, we got children and young adults on our streets who have nothing to do.
Sure.
So jobs are very important. Instead of paying somebody, and no disrespect to Public Works, but instead of paying somebody in Public Works to cut grass at large salaries or paint yellow lines, we can give that job to children and youth so that they can have money in their pocket and have
But without
self-respect.
industry, but you know, no, and I respect what you say. But without industry, how can we really provide jobs that's going to be sustainable for our young? I often talked about that right there on this show here. Is that we are a community, a suburb city community, that we don't seem to have the business revenue to like some of the bigger towns that can cover us. You know, we are basically a community that's, I would say, covered by those that live in the community. So there's a lot of pinching in that we have to do. I commend and salute Martin Cox here because his son went to college and got a degree and is going to get another degree. He's going to be a teacher, a doctor, whatever it's going to be. And that really is the kind of people that we really in a town like this have to produce. You know what I mean? Without a doubt, because a lot of our kids are living in houses $300,000-$400,000. And once they get 18, 19 years old, without college and without going to the next level, will they be able to carry the banner?
The question that I have to...
That's why we have to pay attention to the future of our youths and get them off the streets and give them something to do meaningful and see that they get an education and
See, that's the very important thing is get the education.
Okay, and well, that's sort of the point there, and the question that I've got to ask is, when you talk about the issue of employment for youth and anybody in the city,
sure,
youth, and anyone in the city, like
that comes from
my cousin Vinny.
Comes from his IT.
You're the IT guy now.
Yeah, the IT guy. I can't speak, but I can work a computer.
Okay.
The issue, the question on the table there is: are you saying that the city should be responsible for hiring people, or the city should be an advocate or a vehicle to encourage private business to do that?
I would say private business.
Right, because when a lot of people ask that question, and even when I've run for previous office, people will come up to me and say, "Can you get me a job?" Well, the reality that all of us have got to answer is it's nice to say we would like to help anybody, but as long as you're willing to pay for it in more taxes, well, the answer is yes, because you can hire anybody you want.
Sure.
Because every single person that you hire on to the city, you pay their salary, you pay their benefits, you know, and you know, if anyone wants to sit around here and say, yeah, we're a full employment, you know, municipality, we'll hire any, you know, Bob, Joe, and Mary on the street to do that, as long as you're willing to tell people where you're going to get the money to pay for the taxes, and you're going to tell everybody who doesn't want to pay taxes any more higher that you're going to, that's fine. And I challenge anybody to sit here and tell me that that is their solution to economic development. So
we're on the same page. And Tom, I'm going to ask you to do something because a young lady's getting ready to walk through that door, which is
slide over.
Mayor Briggs. If you could
give her a seat, absolutely.
Give her your seat. She's coming through the door now.
Well, I can walk us in. And so the other issue there is a private enterprise of it, and so we got to create an atmosphere in Plainfield that encourages people to come in without giving away the store. Because what we've been giving away is taxes and to businesses that we desperately need. And so there's got to be that balance. I mean, you want to encourage businesses to come in, but you can't say, you know, you're not going to pay 30 years worth of taxes. Because we can't afford that, because that just means that we are going to pay it. So there's no easy question to that, but the answer is not, Plainfield is a full employment place and, you know, everybody's just gonna have to pay for somebody else to get a job.
Okay, well, I just want the listening audience to know that Mayor Shannon Robinson Briggs is here. We thought that perhaps you were gonna reach us by car, but I'm happy to have you here, right here with everybody. Have you been listening to the questions and some of the answers and things?
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of your listeners, to Plainfield and friends of Plainfield. Good afternoon to everyone who is here. No, actually, Reverend, I did not hear any segment or any portion of the broadcast this afternoon.
Sure.
My office was just alerted somewhere between 3:30 and 4:15 that this was taking place. And so, although I was taping a segment of the Mayor's Corner, I thought it would be important for me to actually be here on site as opposed to calling in, because I did call in a few times and the phone was busy. But I thought the folks who are listening really deserve to hear the factual information from the city.
Yes. Well, let me say this right here, Mayor Briggs, without a doubt, that the Reverend Zechariah, here from the Church of What's Happening Now, Town Talker Talk Show, have put this together over the many weeks. We did not actually invite you, not because we was trying to slight you at all. We were actually inviting the runner-ups, and that's the approach that we were taking. And so there's no dirty underskirt, as Mama would tell a little sister, don't wear a dirty underskirt, you know. Go outside, you know, so there's no underhand.
Thank you.
All right. Some things were said about the management of the city and things that a lot of folks feel that perhaps that they would be more qualified in managing the city, or just had a different strategy.
Right, I'm sure.
People were talking mainly about updating the city hall, you know, where we can reach everything by computer and things of that nature.
Right.
So, and without a doubt, I said this right here. I said, well, you know, the last 4 years have been a changing time for all of us.
Yes.
Things have happened, you know, in the last 4 years that hasn't happened, you know.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
House Speaker that's a woman, and
that's right.
African American president.
Yes.
We have
very proud of President Barack Obama.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. I was at the inauguration and the convention, and we have a slight handicapped brother that's governor of New York.
Yes.
So we, you know,
Fabulous.
a whole lot of things have
He's
happened.
a very intelligent man.
And I learned Twitter. Is that right?
That's correct.
And
Gotta be careful with
You see,
that, right?
technology.
Twitter.
Yes.
Right.
To Twitter.
You know,
To Twitter. I learned to Twitter.
Yes,
And
Reverend, technology
and,
is always changing.
and Facebook.
Absolutely. And MySpace and all the
MySpace.
You
MySpace.
got
I
it.
haven't done
YouTube
MySpace,
and
but I've done Facebook and everything. And so, you know, things have changed. You know, I have a.
They have, Reverend, and if I can jump right in
Go ahead.
with the first issue that you mentioned with regard to technology, I can tell you that my administration has been trying for the longest to inform our city council of the need for us to have a technology department, an information technology department, so that we can improve and become in the correct century,
Yes.
technology-wise. And now we have a member who is an opponent here, who's also a city councilman, who has consistently voted no for us to improve our technology department. So what our plan was, the administration, is for us to have a combined media, communication / information technology department. But of course, in order to have such a thing, we need funding.
Sure.
And of course, we're in a recession, as with the entire country.
That's right.
But we still need to be sure to put certain things in place so that we can do certain things. Information technology is very important to the city of Plainfield, as well as other communities. So hopefully, the council will soon vote affirmatively and be able to put together a budget so that we can do such a thing. We did, through my administration, we did do shared services with the Plainfield School District.
Okay.
And that did enable us for some time for us to be able to utilize the technology department at in the school district for the benefit of the entire city and the entire community of Plainfield. And we also have a Board of Education member here as well.
Sure.
What happened was the former agreement was going to go until the end of the school year, June 30th of 2008, and we had even spoken with the incoming superintendent before he started, July 1st of 2008, told him what we were working on, the shared services, asked if it was something that he thought he could support when he came on board. He said yes. As of July 1st, there was no agreement in place, and as of today being the latter part of May in 2009, we still don't have an agreement, and that's why I've asked for my administration as well as the council to please work toward us having our own information technology unit,
Okay.
because we can no longer wait on any one body or entity
Well,
in the city.
I will say this right here,
suffice our
since you
needs.
guys have taken, since
Mhm.
you've taken office, that Channel 74 has changed.
Yes, it has.
So I will-
And for the better, we have put a lot of good programming on there.
Yes, a lot of different things on there. Adrian, would you like to say?
Yes, I would.
Go ahead. Respond. Okay.
I am amazed that our mayor would sit here and would try to again mislead the people of Plainfield.
Oh my goodness.
I have consistently, along with my colleagues, voted against the mayor's attempt to bring on an IT director at a salary of $130,000. I had never voted against IT technology. IT technology is what we need. What we don't need is the mayor bringing on someone without a plan for the technological improvements of the city at a salary of $130,000. The people of Plainfield have spoken about that, and the mayor has consistently
Sure.
attempted to ignore the wishes and the desires of the people. And so the mayor continues to put misinformation out there, similar to the misinformation she put out there about the number of police officers that she has hired. And if the mayor is truthful to the people of Plainfield, she will admit that there were 151 police officers when she took office, and that today there's 146. How is that increasing the number of police officers? That's a reduction of 5. The mayor has also misinformed the public by telling them that she has reduced murders by 300%. Mayor, tell us, if you have 15 marbles and you lose all 15,
all of your
how
marbles
many
lost?
have you
Probably
lost?
none.
Mayor,
I'd
you've
like an
lost your
opportunity to
marbles.
Good.
respond,
Without a
please.
doubt. I can't. It's nothing I can
Thank
do.
you so very much. First and foremost, let's see. The first lie that he told. Let's go back to the police situation. With regard to let's go back to the IT situation. That was where he started. What has happened is that my administration did a review and analysis, if you like, and that was to go to various municipalities and to do an analysis to find out what the actual salary range is for someone in that profession,
Okay.
an IT director. You will see that there is a range, but it's a high range because it's a specialized field. When the council members, including Mr. Mapp, had determined that whatever the salary was, I don't have the number in front of me right now, but whatever it was too much, we lowered the range and went back to them.
Okay.
And they continuously came back with more and more questions about the range. I wonder what his salary in Roselle is as the finance director who can't even get the budget right over there. So I don't know what he's talking about. But when we talk about, let's go to the police department for a moment. Back in either 2004 or 2005, Mr. Mapp, as council president, voted to lay off somewhere between 15 and God knows how many officers from the city of Plainfield. That made the city of Plainfield a target. In 2005, unfortunately, we became the beneficiary of that target by having 15 homicides, because everybody in this country knew we didn't have ample people out on the streets of Plainfield protecting our residents and our business owners, our employees and friends of Plainfield. I heard the people when I was campaigning in 2005, and I vowed that that would be my number one priority.
I have to and speak frank.
Yes.
And true.
Me too.
You have been in many marches with me.
Absolutely.
In the streets against violence and death in the city of Plainfield.
Absolutely.
You know, and of course we've seen Adrian Mapp also in
My
marches
son
also.
once, yes.
Yeah.
But if I can finish that stat, though, please, Reverend, and that is that I believe the records will show that I did hire 14 new officers. He got rid of at least 15. I hired 14 new ones. Now, the numbers may be down, and that's simply because people have retired.
Okay.
People have been going out on disability.
Sure.
Okay, but we also have someone else in the academy that will be coming on. We have also, although they may have had a larger number total number of officers in the previous administration, they didn't have as many officers out on the streets as I do now.
Okay.
So that makes a big difference. We have officers out, plain clothes, plain cars, unmarked cars, marked cars, bicycle, motorcycle, Segway, on foot, you name it.
And
Patrolling this community.
I wanted to salute two of your officers.
Mhm.
One of them, the young lady, I don't know her name, but she rides a bicycle and she was able to apprehend a kidnapping a few months ago. And at this moment, I can't think of the young officer.
Our whole department is doing a phenomenal job. I'm very proud of them.
Officer Woody was one of that was backed her up on that right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I remember.
They are all doing a wonderful job, and for somebody to put out in this community that they're not doing a great job is really just a horrible way to try and bring the incorrect information to the community of Plainfield. We are doing a fabulous job. The officers have done more than a fabulous job. They are utilizing every available venue to bring about safety and security here in the city of Plainfield.
Okay.
And they're to be commended.
Mayor,
But Mr. Mapp got rid of cops. Folks need to know that.
Okay, we're going to give each one of the candidates 2 minutes to kind of finalize their part, and we're going to come back to you and Mr. Mapp.
That's
Is that
fine.
Okay?
That will be
Start
quite
with Mark.
enjoyable.
Thank you, Reverend. Again, I'm asking the public for their support on Tuesday, June 2nd. G15. Polls are open 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. And in closing, I won't need you 2 minutes, Reverend.
Okay.
This Sunday at the Mohawk Lodge, number 307 on West 3rd Street, from 12 to 4, there'll be a Martin Peacocks for Mayor rally. And as in everything else that I've done, we'll be putting the community first. The first 500 individuals that come, we'll be providing them with groceries to take home, and hopefully that will help them through whatever it is that they're dealing with at this point in time. So we just want to assist people in all that we do. I hope that you can come on out, it's rain or shine, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much, Reverend.
God bless.
All right, Jim Pivnichny again. I want to remind everybody that I am the lone Republican in the room. And there is a role for the Republican Party in Plainfield, for no other reason than to keep the Democrats on their toes. I don't have anything at stake in the primary, but you'll be hearing a lot from me when we get closer to November. In the meantime, I urge all your listeners who are registered Democrats to get out to the primary. Also on Tuesday. Also to listen very carefully to all the wonderful candidates that are competing and pick the right person. And if you go and do that and pick the right person, no matter who wins in November, Plainfield will win.
Okay, that's what we want to hear. 2 minutes.
Thank you, it's Bob Farrar speaking. I have many plans, and I hear Reverend, some of them you can have to keep.
Okay.
And there is plenty of ways to reduce property taxes by getting some of the fat, and I don't mean weight, out of City Hall, out of city government. Sharon and I are good friends. We have disagreements as how the city should be run, but she's a wonderful person. And it's my belief that this upcoming election is so vital to the future of Plainfield that each and every resident should get out and voice their vote, no matter who it's for. If you think Sharon's the best, then do it. If you think Tom's the best, then do it. Me, Martin, Mr. Mapp, Mr. Provincial. I'm gonna win.
The Republicans said you go away. Okay.
One vote will get him.
That's rotten, Bob.
Gotta love it.
Go ahead. Good.
Oh, okay. I feel we're always a stepchild to the main entertainment. And I don't mean that positively. My name's Tom Turner. I'm running for mayor here in town. You know, the slogan that I've always shared on my posters and all that is honest, dedicated service to the public. And that's what I'm about. I think that, you know, for the longest time that we've had many questions about, you know, how things are done in town, the motivation behind it, whether people are forthcoming, whether they're honest, whether they're just telling people what they want to hear versus actually doing something proactively, you know, to meet concerns of people. I'm running because for as long as I've been here, I'm not 100% satisfied with council, with mayor, with school board, or anybody that I feel that they're living up to that standard. And so I'm going to offer that as a better standard for folks. And if you feel like I feel that that's been lacking, then I'll be more than glad to guarantee that that will happen if you elect me as mayor.
Okay, Carol.
Again, this is Carol Broco Bowles, line 14G. Please vote on Tuesday. First of all, I want to say, when I entered this race, one of the things I promised is that I would never in any way disparage any of my colleagues. I want to say I have great respect for everybody here. It's a very hard thing to run for public office, and I salute anybody who does it. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for running, because I know it's a very hard endeavor. I'm involved in the process for the very first time, and I realize how very difficult it is. My objective in Plainfield is to make sure that we have real economic development in Plainfield. That is my primary concern. We need to develop ratables. We are too dependent on residential real estate taxes for the support of the city. If we do not do that, then we're going to be in the same place next year that we are this year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and the year after that. We need to develop ratables.
Sure.
If you elected me as mayor, that's going to be my primary concern here in Plainfield.
Okay. Well, I just want to say this right here. When you talk about battle, I remember a battle about a year or so ago when, you know, my back was nearly broke, Mayor, and the only little edge of freedom I had was crawling into this radio station, and just the honor and glory of hearing Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton battling, you know, and I mean just to hear the battle, because I'm a long time Democrat, so I would have taken either one, you know, so you know it was a good thing. Of course, we're going to yield to the mayor, the first woman mayor in Plainfield.
Thank you very much.
We're honored to have you as the first woman.
It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got 2.5 minutes.
Is there anything in particular that you'd like me to discuss? As
Well-
I didn't have a chance to hear what the discussion was earlier.
Well, I think I just would like to, your vision of 2010.
Okay. Well, I thank you so very much, and thank you for this opportunity. Always a pleasure to come again and to speak to the people of Plainfield, to give some factual information as to what's really going on. As I think, and I appreciate, as I said to everyone last night before, I appreciate all the candidates who have come out and showed their concern for the community of Plainfield. I think for the purposes of continuity and for following with the process of success for Plainfield, we were to keep with the same administration that we have. 4 years ago, we started with a brand new administration with mine, and I can tell you that there was no transitional period from the previous administration to mine.
Sure.
And so therefore it was a learning experience to come in, basically just being given the keys and saying, okay, go and find everything you need, Sharon. And so with that in mind, I think my team did a stellar job. We took on many different issues in the community of Plainfield in terms of safety and security, as I mentioned a while ago. With regard to there being 15 homicides in 2005, all the way down to 1 in the year 2009 as of May of this year, which is a tremendous job. We have also embarked upon economic development in the city of Plainfield. I took on a project that our senior citizens have been waiting for over 8 years, and that was that they had been promised a brand new senior citizen center. Unfortunately, in 2005, in May of 2005, there had been a situation of a groundbreaking by the previous administration, and Mr. Mapp and others who were there, and it was really false hope for our community because that was simply just a groundbreaking. I've told my administration I don't want a groundbreaking, and I don't need a photo op. I need to know that things are going to actually happen. I want to know when concrete is going to be poured, when steel beams will be laid, and we're going to do things in the city of Plainfield. That's what we need.
Okay.
So for the future, we're going to continue with economic development. We're going to continue with our safety procedures. We're going to continue to hire our young people. We're going to continue to work on our taxes. We're going to continue to do everything positive for the community of Plainfield that we need to do. There are some who are around this table, and it's nothing personal, but just to be candid, there are some around this table who have been in position of leadership and really wasn't able to produce. My administration has,
All right.
and will continue to do so.
Thank you, Mayor,
Thank you
and
very
good
much.
luck, and God bless you.
God bless you as
All
well.
right, Adrian Mack.
Our mayor is challenged by the truth. She has indicated that there has been a problem with the budget in Roselle. Absolutely false. The budget in Roselle was introduced and adopted without any problem, without any errors. Unlike the budget in the city of Plainfield, which was introduced with an error of $1.66 million, because our mayor has refused to surround herself with competent leaders. She's had a revolving door of finance directors. She has had other leaders that have absconded with funds from the city. There's $43,000 that was stolen from the tax collector's office. She can't deny that. There was $158,000 awarded, under very questionable circumstances, and that has not been accounted for. And the prosecutor's office should be asked to look into that. I wonder what the mayor has done about that. The mayor has sat on Muhlenberg's board and has never attended a meeting and has stood by while that hospital closed. So what I say to the people of Plainfield is that you need leadership in the city. You need Adrian Mapp as your mayor who will take the city in a new direction, and I ask you to give me that opportunity to be your leader. Vote column F, Adrian Mapp as your mayor, Rick Smiley for the assembly, and all of the candidates running for the city committee. Column F for Plainfield's future.
Column
Thank
F
you.
is for failure, column B all the way for the best.
Well, I'm just gonna say this right here, because we need a little hope. We all need a little hope, Bob. Barack Obama. Keep hoping on. God bless you. God bless you.
Is he running for mayor?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Reverend Jackson.
Oh, don't forget.
Thank you.
What's that, Jim? Oh, from what's the
Sorry. Gravity. Pass overnight. You know how kids are. Yeah, they pass notes when school teachers not looking.
Listening to the Town Talker with Reverend Zechariah A. Jackson, founding pastor of the Church of What's Happening Now in Plainfield, New Jersey. If you'd like to contact Reverend
Good luck to
Jackson,
everybody.
908-361-2222.
Interesting to get out of that on Wednesday morning.
Jim.
See who I'm facing. Caroline?
All right. Okay, everybody's getting DVDs, right? Because that's part of it. You got yours.
What time somebody here?
No, contact me. Just say I'll contact you.
Okay, just hit me up to say
I got you.
yes, and we'll take care of that tomorrow. Brian, you don't have $10 on you, do you?
Thank you.
That's what happens when you have a son who just graduated and just beat me up.
Hold on 1 second, I gotta get this.
I know. We were in there in 1996.
No, that's right. I'll come up and see him in the morning.
How long you gonna be here for? How long you gonna be here for?
You're using this as a
How long you gonna be here for?
Huh?
How long you gonna be here for?
Probably another half an hour. Can I use this right?
What time were you? Oh, somebody get it. No.
Maybe
I'm not doing conversation. When are you back?
How you doing?
Next Thursday, I'll just come see you. Just hit me on the cell and I'll come over. All right, that's no problem.
the truth. The truth.
Down the facts of the facts. Just go to City Hall and search the records.
You got it.
I was not on the City Council, Tom. I was not.
Thank you again. Appreciate that.
Just hit me next week and I'll come over. I'll come like 3:45 next week. I'll be here. Thanks. Actually, I'm gonna take a picture with Rev too.
I forgot we gotta pay for this again.
Yeah.
Because I don't have money, I just have plastic, so I will come back here and get
You don't want to take a picture with me, huh?
No. We just take it. Since we're in a radio station, both holding the mic.
Put everything on.
Is this gonna appear on some campaign thing somewhere or something?
Of course not.
I want a picture with the Reverend.
Brian, charge him triple.
I need a microphone.
I was surprised you didn't break in
Oh,
the
hold on,
song.
let me get
Bob.
out.
I missed that.
Stay right there, right there. You was good right there.
Is,
Right
is,
there.
is Mary McWilliams' daughter still in the race?
No, she was never in the race.
She ran for at-large council president.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you, brother. And we're gonna come back. I know you guys have invited us to the past.
Okay.
Schedule.
Hey, thanks for both of the forums.
Can I give you-
Really good.
No, she was never in this
too.
All right. Some shots over to you.
Take care.
Take care.
You got one, right? And you gonna do it next time, right?
Right, you guys need
No,
to
you gave me
exchange
one. You made
cards.
my house already. I
Okay.
paid you
For today.
for today. No, I'm gonna come back and give you money because I just carry I really carry cash.
Grammar school is there.
I'll show you. And who else?
So
Someone else?
if you're not here every day though, right?
No.
So what I'll do, I'll leave it in an envelope, I'll write your name on it, and I'll leave it out here with the secretary.
Oh, Mag, too, so.
One thing
You
is,
leave it on the
let's
list.
share
Okay.
with our Christian purpose of the happy. We're all gonna live here when
You get one, hold a check, get one.
regardless of what our individual
Okay,
people
okay.
tell us, one person is gonna win. And we
You got a card on you?
Yes.
Hi, Bob. How you doing? Nice to see
You
you
dropped
again.
out, you dropped out the radar screen for about 2 or 3 years. I mean,
I was playing with the American
What
Legion.
paper you with?
Lincoln.
Ramon.
Oh, okay. What do you have?
In the Spotlight magazine.
Oh, in Spot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we do a lot. We don't cover too much local stuff, but this is where I'm from, born and raised.
Yeah.
Student body group that managed the school, because under Abbott, that was a requirement that they have those there. So I was a community person that was part of that organization. So for 2 years I went there, we worked with our schools and tried to improve the area over there.
Yes, sir. All right, Bob.
Are you finished with you?
I didn't get yelled
No,
at for that.
I was a community shop.
Yeah, I'll be here for about a half an hour.
Okay.
You coming back up?
Yeah, she was not gonna do.
I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. You got your bag?
Yes, sir. Together on a regular basis and trying to work out the problems that.
Oh, no. Ryan Gold. How you doing? Ryan Gold. All right.
You're old, all right. Yeah, man.
Where's the polo right there? She's got that.
I got all that stuff too.
What's
Don't
the
know.
number?
4236.
4236. Gotta hit the measure. Most important thing. Hit it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Alrighty.
So,
Mr. Turner.
Tom, TT.
So, yes. So, no, I've been so busy doing other things, and that lasted for about 2 years. And
What's this they telling me about some truck?
They kind of
What
dropped
in the
off,
world are you doing?
you know,
Huh?
issue